John Patitucci, who I had never worked with before, called me to play with him after hearing me, I think, on the radio on Randy's record. And then through John, I had met Michael. I had played actually with the Brecker brothers in 1996. I subbed for Dean Brown in Israel, which was fantastic. And, you know, I mean, as a New York kid, aside from how great Michael and Randy were as individuals and were as a band, you know, they were legends in New York, you know.
Yeah.
And to play with them was quite a thrill at that point. We played at the Red Sea Festival. And Michael had said, you know, I look forward to something akin to, I look forward to playing with you in the future. And then we did a couple of jam sessions at Patitucci's house playing tunes. And then not long after that, Mike called me to join his group in 1999. And there was a funny story associated with it. Mike did this record that I really love called Time Is of the Essence.
Yeah.
With Larry Goldings. It's an organ record.
Yeah. Larry
Goldings and Elvin Jones, Bill Stewart, and Tane. And he, when he started making plans to tour the record, he called me and said, I think I'd like you to join this group. I'd love to play with you. And he said, he didn't say I think, he said, there's a few things I have to work out. So, you know, I'll be in touch about it. And I was, you know, absolutely thrilled at the prospect. And I had this other potential work at the same time. I was doing a couple of other gigs that I sort of had to know what was going on so that I didn't, you know, because playing with Mike was, you know, by far the thing that I wanted to do more than anything else. But I didn't want to pressure Mike Brecker.
Right.
You got to tell me, what's happening with this gig, man? So months went by, and Mike, who was a sort of notoriously slow decider, I wasn't hearing anything. And at some point I had to let these other people know what I was doing. And I remember I was in Dresden, Germany, and I called Mike and I said, Mike, listen, I'm so sorry. The idea of playing with you is so exciting to me. And I have these other things. I'm going to have to let them know. And he said, no, it's totally cool, man. I'll tell you the problem that I've been having. I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to have organ with bass or organ with guitar. And I went, okay. And he said, what do you think? And I said, definitely organ with guitar. And he said, cool, let's do it. And we laughed hysterically because he knew that, you know, there was an element of sort of, he was joking, like asking me, right. Which, of course, you know, in the tradition of organ groups, there is, you know, there's now very rarely acoustic bass or bass with organ. The organist plays the bass.
Right.
But, you know, left up to me. And I said, sorry, Mike, I think that's the best move. And he went, great, let's do it. And we laughed and laughed and laughed. And it began my, you know, playing with Mike